Well, as Mystique said, I'm Betty from Aging and Disability Resource Center, and the topic is, where do I start? So what yes. I think so. Is it on? Sorry. I do have a soft voice, so I'll try and talk louder. So what I'm going to do is where I usually start when people say where to start, is I'm going to give you some background about the Aging and Disability Resource Center and what we are, what we do, those sorts of things. So Aging and Disability Resource Center, our mission statement is that we promote choice and independence through personalized education, advocacy, and access to services that prevent, delay, and lessen the impact of aging and disabilities in lives of adults. Oh dear, what was that? Okay. All right. We are a 4-county region with 5 counties. You can see where the offices are. We've got an office here in Wood County, in Wisconsin Rapids, and in Marshfield. A Wausau office, Merrill in, I think that's Lincoln County, and Anago in Langlade County. Who do we serve? Adults 60 years and older, adults beginning at 17 years, 6 months with developmental disabilities, and what we do is try and help transition kids with disabilities to the adult world and the services the services as adults. Adults with physical disabilities, the same thing, starting at 17 years, 6 months, and people with mental health issues and AODA concerns. Our services include a resource specialist, elderly benefit specialist, disability benefit specialist. We have a loan closet, a nutrition program, a latch list of people that you can hire in your home, healthy living programs, and caregiver assistance. And basically all this information is in your packet. This brochure, if I talk to people, every day I talk to people about these same things, and I pull out the brochure, and all this information is basically here. So I'm going to start with resource specialists, and I'm a resource specialist. I would say about half of my job is information and referral, but it's more than information and referral. People will call me and say to me, where are the assisted livings in the area, for instance? And I'll say, well, our resource directory, here they are. There are lots of them in the area. But then we have a further discussion. And if the person wants to talk, what are you thinking? This is what you need to think about when you talk about assisted livings. Just take it that further step. What's going on? Is this mom? Is it dad? Is it both mom and dad? What's going on in that? The other thing that we do is, in that we connect people to other resources besides assisted livings. Anything from where do I get food share? What's the number? How can I get that? Where are the houses in the area, the subsidized housing in the area? Anything, a lot of things, just a whole bunch of things. The other part of my job is connecting people or eligibility for a long-term care program called Family Care. The elderly benefit specialist works with people that are 60 and older, and what they do is look at the insurances and public benefits. What are they eligible for? They can talk to a person that's not quite 65 about what Medicare is and how that could affect them, and those steps into applying for Medicare and Social Security and all of those things. I send people to a elder benefit specialist a lot of times to do a benefit checkup. Maybe they're saying, my Part D plan just isn't paying for my medications. What can I do? And I'll say, the benefit specialist is the guru with the benefits. This is her number. This would be a good idea just to see what benefits you have, what you'd be eligible for, and talk through what is exactly Part A and Part B, and how does that impact you. disabilities benefit specialist, it works with people that are under 60, those adults from 18 and older up to 60. So they help people apply for disability. If somebody has disability, they can look and see what benefits they're eligible for and what's the definition of those? What does that mean? We have a loan closet. It's a free loan closet. The idea of the loan closet is that it's a short-term free loan for people maybe had surgery and they need a walker or a wheelchair for 6 months, and they'll be done with it. That way they don't have to purchase it. Or some people will borrow a piece of equipment just to see if they like that particular type of tub bench. And that way, why buy 3, and then none of them work for you and you have to buy a 4th when you can see if this one works, and then you can buy one similar. We have a nutrition program. Our nutrition program is, this specific one is talking about the senior dining. We have several sites in the area. The eligibility is that you have to be 60 and older. If you are under 60 but a spouse of somebody that's 60 and older that attends, a person with a disability, under 60 residing in an apartment where the dining site is located, a disabled person living in the home with somebody 60 and older participating in the dining program. So our senior dining sites located in Wisconsin Rapids are at Centralia Center, at the Lowell Center, Monday through Friday, Huntington House, Monday through Friday, 10th Avenue Apartments on Tuesday and Thursday, and Nakusa Senior Community Center on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The suggested meal price contribution, the suggested contribution is $3.50 a meal. A suggested contribution means that if you can't afford to pay it, we aren't going to deny a meal. If you can put something toward it, that's great, but if you can't, you can't. The other senior dining locations in Marshfield are at Parkview Apartments and Cedar Rail Apartments. I don't know if anybody's here from Marshfield or not. Oh, good.
We're caretakers at Cedar Rail.
Oh, okay, all right. Home delivered meals, it's for people that are over 60 and homebound. And by homebound, we mean that you really can't get out and about without somebody taking you out and about. Probably you go out for church, and that's okay. People have to get out and socialize, but generally there's a health reason that it makes it hard for you to make a meal, and it's hard for you to get out unless somebody takes you out. Again, the suggested contribution is $4.25 a meal. And again, it's a suggested contribution. If you can't pay that, you get a donation statement. If you can't pay that, you aren't going to be denied a meal. Healthy living programs. Sierra was here. Was she talking about healthy living programs? Their focus, they are prevention, overall health and well-being. They promote activity and healthy lifestyles through general health guidelines and evidence-based programs on reducing falls for older adults, increase activity levels, and overcome overall confidence. They're usually about 6 weeks long. There is a donation that you can give or not. The programs that they offer are healthy living, living well with chronic conditions, healthy living with diabetes, stepping on, building confidence and reducing falls, and powerful tools for caregivers. We also have a latch list of people, and these are people that we've done a minimal background check on and interviewed. Then they work for themselves, and you can hire them to come in the home and do just housekeeping, the supportive care, the personal cares, running errands, grocery shopping, minor home repairs. They usually charge between $10 and $15 an hour. They're just regular people in the community that want to do this work. I have a spreadsheet on the computer, so if you call me and you say, well, I just want somebody to come, and I live in the Coosa to help my mom take a shower, I can narrow down the list so that I can just pull up the people that do the personal cares and send that to you in the mail or a lot of emails. Send a lot of emails sometimes. Caregiver Assistance. So if you have somebody that you're taking care of, or somebody that you help every day, you're a caregiver. We have a staff, a caregiver support coordinator that can help you talk to you about being a caregiver, support you as a caregiver, connect you with the support groups or maybe Alzheimer's Association for caregivers. But that's what her job is, to support caregivers.
Is there like a support group that meets together of caregivers at all?
There are actually 2 in town. Yeah, I didn't bring any resource directories.
They should have them in their packet. Yeah.
Okay, good. And if not, we do have a website, and if you go on the the left-hand side toolbar, it says resource directory, and click on there, you can find an electronic copy of that. Okay. Then, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's one at St. Luke's that reads every Monday. The other one is, I can't remember exactly which day of the month it is, which Monday or Tuesday of the month it is. Do you know that one?
Which one are we talking about?
The caregiver support group at the Lowell Center. I don't know if you're connected with that or not.
For the Alzheimer's caregiver?
Yeah.
Yes, that meets the second Thursday of the month.
Second Thursday, yeah. Oh, wrong way.
You have to close that.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Well, I can go up to next. Oh, now I got another one. There we go. Okay. We also always need volunteers. So people to teach classes, people to deliver meals. We always need home delivered meal drivers, help at the dining sites, and offer an office assistance.
What kind of classes would those be that you'd seek for someone to help you with?
The classes would be those classes at Sierra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there'd be training.
Oh, yes, and they'd work with the person, yeah. And for all those evidence-based classes, there is a criteria, there is a curriculum. Yeah, they're very, very set up, very. Yeah, it is, yeah. So my contact information is, you can see the phone numbers in Wisconsin Rapids. It's 715-421-0014. So if somebody called 715-42, or even the 800 toll number, and said, I want to know, my mother is, things are changing with my mom. And I want to talk to somebody about that. They're going to connect you to me or one of my coworkers. So I'm going to ask you, well, what's going on with mom? And they'll say, well, mom's now at home. Things are changing. She just maybe, her health is failing. She doesn't want to leave her home. What are the options? What can we do? So we start with just that. Where mom is, what mom wants. You can hire people in the home. Does she have home delivered meals? What about a lifeline? So if she gets up to use the bathroom and goes down, somebody knows. And even if she can't press that button, that lifeline unit knows she's down and will alert somebody. So we talk about all those resources of where to get a lifeline, the resources in the area for home delivered meals, let's see, the latch list, the agencies in the town that you can hire caregivers. I ask them if they want me to come talk to family and mom, so we can involve mom in this. because this is mom's life and dad's life. I don't need to pick on moms and exclude dads. This is my parents' life, your parents' life. Should they be included in this? And sometimes they'll say, that's really a good idea. That way they can hear it from an unbiased person, not a family member, because sometimes once a child, you're always a child. But somebody else telling you the same thing as children have been telling you all your life, it just is different. Sometimes they say, no, I just want some information so that I can tell mom, and then if she wants to come see you, I'll call you. So it's just however you want to do that. If she wants to come, if they all want to come to my office, I've met with 8 children and their spouses and mom. And I've just met with mom or dad alone. So it just, I've gone to their homes. I've gone to the conference room in my office. I've met them at other people. We've Skyped with a family that was in Arizona. So it just, depends on how that works for that family. But beyond that, mom says this is the situation, and daughter and family says this is the situation now. Mom wants to stay in her home, but things are changing. So we talk about that, but we also talk about the next steps, because mom is okay now, and you get her a lifeline, and she is homebound. She has her home delivered meals. There's somebody there to set up her meds for her to make sure she has them. But maybe in a year or 2, she's not going to be safe in her home. So then what are the options for that? Is it an assisted living? Is it caregivers coming in the home? Is it a family member moving in? Is it she moving in with a family member? How is that going to work? What are the options to help the caregiver? What are the options to help mom out? What about funding? Unfortunately, we aren't made of gold. Even people that have a savings, if you move to an assisted living or a nursing home, and you're paying off at $3,500 a month or so, that's then what's going to happen. What are those next steps? How are you going to pay for that? How can you manage that money so that it goes a little further? But just helping you make that family and mom make all those plans. So that's really about it. It can be as simple as sitting down and saying, well, what's going on now? Maybe meals and Lifeline would work, or sitting down with the whole family and actually helping them make a more in-depth plan, or just mediating sometimes. So that's really it for me, I think, unless I'm missing something or anybody has any questions.
How many clients would you see? I mean, are you guys busy and overwhelmed, or do people come to you?
Actually, yes, yes, very much so. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm overwhelmed. There's always that balance in your job. It is even cyclical between. It's like, okay, well, I'm not too busy, but then the next week it's like. We rotate in days, taking people and being that in person, so that maybe once a week I will take all the calls for the county and the walk-ins in Wisconsin Rapids. And then one day a week I'll just take the walk-ins for Wisconsin Rapids. So probably on that one day, I can have anywhere from 30 calls a day to 10 calls a day, walk-ins. Sometimes an appointment or a call is as easy as giving out a phone number for the housing authority, or giving out a phone number for energy assistance, and telling them a little bit about how that works. And sometimes it's a 45-minute call from daughter in Arizona, upset because mom is alone, and what can she do, and how can she tell mom these things? These same things that you're asking, how can I make mom do this? And basically the answer is you can't. You can't. Mom is her own person. What's more important, that fight with your mom, or letting the mail that's junk sit in the corner? Everybody has to find that balance. Yeah. So the other thing we do is really, and I didn't talk about this a lot, was we do screening for a program called Family Care. And Family Care is a program that Wisconsin offers that would pay for supports and services in your home. The eligibility is that they look at two different things. Your needs have to be high enough and your finances have to be low enough.
What was the first part?
The needs have to be high
Okay,
enough.
okay.
You have to, yeah, so we have to do a screen, a functional screen that assesses what your needs are. It all goes in the computer, and we have a binder this thick that tells me how I can mark these boxes according to what your needs are. And we also would help you then apply for Medicaid, so there's Medicaid rules to this too, so, okay. Any questions? And then I think I'm done unless there's anything you're thinking of? Yes.
One question, the $3,500 per month, do you have information here on how we get to do to get that, or how you employ it?
I pulled a number out of a hat when I said 3,500. When somebody goes to an assisted living, they have a base rate, and it's almost an a la carte thing, and Mystique can tell you more about that than I can, where it again is according to your needs. You know, many people have a savings account that they use to spend at an assisted living, but when they spend that money down, they apply for that public funding, that family care program. But again, your needs have to be high enough. If you're a single person, your assets have to be at $2,000 or less. So we ask you that before that time comes, you come to us 3 or 4 months before you're actually to that point of needing help. That, you know, the rent, the help to pay for the assisted living. But that's how a lot of people do it. Yeah. But a lot of people actually do have, you know, I'm talking to a lot of people that have a nice income and assets and can pay for it privately for quite a while, actually. Okay? All right, well, thank you. I see lunch came, I think, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.